The trial of televangelist Timothy Omotoso resumes in the High Court in Port Elizabeth. Later this morning, Judge Mandela Makaula will rule on an application by the defense asking him to recuse himself from the case. The defense team has accused the judge of being biased and of supporting the first witness, Cheryl Zondi. For what to expect, we now cross live to our reporter, Jayed-Leigh Paulse. Jayed-Leigh, what is happening this morning? Give us a sense of occasion. All right, we're still trying to connect with Jayed-Leigh, and it's such a case of public interest. Yeah. We really do want to know, especially because it seems like focus is now shifting away from the case itself to matters such as whether the judge is fit or not. Jayed-Leigh, we seem to have reconnected with her. Jayed-Leigh, give us a sense of occasion. What has been happening today?
A very good morning. Well, we expect those applications to be heard by Judge Mandela Makaula. You would know that the defense advocate and senior counsel Terry Price last week submitted two applications. One for leave to appeal the decision, Judge Mandela Makaula's decision not to recuse himself. You would know he dismissed that application, but also to quashing of the charges. Now, Mandela Makaula said he would take time out to go through those submissions by the defense, and we expect once the trial starts at 11:30, he will give his verdict with regards to those submissions that were, given by the defense.
What has been happening today, Jayed-Leigh?
Well, as it stands now, there's a small group of Jesus Dominion International Church members outside, also a very small group of civic organizations, political parties that are standing in solidarity with the victims, and many of the other witnesses that are yet to take to the stand. They're also congregating outside. And we've seen this throughout the trial, both opposing parties, those for the accused, which is Timothy Omotoso, and then those, standing in solidarity with the victims of Omotoso protesting outside. But I suppose throughout the day, those numbers will increase. But like I said to you, we expect Judge Mandela Makaula to address those two submissions by the defense. I can tell you now that the courtroom is also filling up. Several police officers are also on a high alert. This is the first time that we see officers standing by. You would know that the court starts exactly at 11:30. There are also police officers outside of court. And you would know that throughout the trial, there has been a large contingency of police making sure that none of the congregants come in to the court, but also those public members who really want to sit onto the proceedings, that they rather support from outside the court, as the court is very congested. There are several media houses that have been following this case, as well as some of the congregants, Taiwo Omotoso, Timothy Omotoso's wife, with some of the pastors in the ministry also sitting on proceedings. And then we've also seen various dignitaries, political figures also sitting in on the trial. But it remains to be seen who will be sitting in today.
Have you been able to get some legal comment, Jayed-Leigh, about the possibilities of where this trial could go? There's been a lot of concern about focus moving away from the real charges.
That's very true. We've spoken to several of the people in the legal fraternity. I spoke to attorney Kuban Chetty. We also had opportunity to speak to defense advocate and senior counsel Terry Price. And Mr. Price alluded to the fact that if Mandela Makaula recuses himself, that would mean that this process will start all over again, Desiree. This would mean that the trial will start all over again. We would have to call the first witness, Cheryl Zondi, back to the stand, and cross-examination will commence from the beginning. But he also made mention of the fact that if Judge Mandela Makaula does not recuse himself, they will be petitioning to the Supreme Court of Appeals and challenging that decision. So I suppose all eyes are on Judge Mandela Makaula and whether he will grant that leave to appeal that the defense have asked for, or whether he will dismiss their application.
Jayed-Leigh, please just give us a recap once again in terms of the starting times for today.
Desiree, can you repeat that question?
Just a recap of the starting times for today.
Well, the trial will resume at 11:30 today.
Thank you so much. Jayed-Leigh Paulse is on that beat for us, and will cross there live as soon as proceedings begin.